well, readers and viewers, this is Kaye England, and many of you may not be familiar with Kaye, but she is an internationally known quilter, and she comes to Clifton Forge, has been very generous over the years, and just that when you see these beautiful, awesome works of art and the third floor of the historic Masonic Theater, it's this lady right here who's principally responsible for that. So, hey, it's very nice of you to join us once again. And the reason why we called you is, as we mentioned in a previous news show, Kaye England has done it again.
We just keep on doing it.
So what are you calling this? It is a very special quilt called Lakeside. Where did that come from?
Well, actually, Lakeside is a project from my fabric company, and while I didn't design this one or the fabric, I did make the quilt. And when we are looking at a fundraiser for the theater, Gail and I get together, and we always kind of choose what we think is a little bit different. And this one was in my collection. We had about 3 or 4 to choose from, and that's kind of the one we settled on. And it's really, we thought it would appeal to a wide range of people. A lot of men would like this quilt, where men typically don't embrace one if it's lots of floral. So we thought it would be fun to kind of change it up a little bit. And I think it is a stellar quilt. I love the look of it.
Where did, and I don't know anything about quilting, but it does seem that symmetry in most quilts is pretty important. Is symmetry just a given in quilts? Maybe unlike, some tapestries of old, but symmetry is important?
I think it is, but I don't think it's the end all. What we've learned about patchwork, as like we do in any kind of art, if you're just talking about oil paintings or whatever, from the masters, look at the wide variety you have, and yet we still call them all a painting. So in patchwork, it's pretty much the same thing. We have people who do art quilts. We have people who do scenic work. We have people who do traditional work. This particular quilt, I think, falls into that category of traditional, but the coloring and the batik fabric maybe isolates it a little bit different than falling into perfect symmetry like you're talking about. But balance is really important in a lot of patchwork quilts, especially bed quilts. You kind of get a radiating center and then you come out from that. But gosh, it's so hard to pigeonhole anything about patchwork, that because it's so is up to the maker to do what they want.
I had such a good time. I said to myself a couple of years ago, I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on at the theater with respect to quilting. One day I said, I'm going to go down there and you were leading about 30 people in a room. Maybe it was 20, 25. And so it was technical, you were given some instruction. But what I noticed, and these are professional people, seamstresses, and they were howling with laughter. They were enjoying themselves. And I mean, and it was intentional. You're giving them instruction and talking about this and that. And so I stood there for a while and I said, man, I'm never going to get a chance to talk to this lady. I mean, she is busy. You stopped what you're doing. You came back and I said, man, I'm out of my league here. I don't know how. And we had the best conversation, but that wasn't the best part. It wasn't just that you were leading everybody and they were all learning and all this. You said you were going to give a demonstration on how to raise money.
Oh, dear.
And you walked up to the front and you said to everybody, you held up this little 3x5 thing. And you said, okay, what are my bids? And before it was over, it was about 5 minutes and you raised $1,500 in about 5 minutes. And I said, this is what I call a bundle of energy.
Well, we're blessed with first of all, we're blessed with a great crowd. We have over 40 this year. I think 45, 46, something like that this year.
Wow.
And all of these people come knowing full well what the theater is about. We are clear about, it operates on the generosity of others and and needs fundraising. And so they come well aware of this and how important the theater is to your community. So it's not that difficult to do. It just is fun. And we struggle every year, like, oh gosh, how do we top last year? And Gail and I talk about that all the time. But I really do think it kind of is your staff at the theater. It's all the people that come. It's they get a chance to see the little town. They get to see what it's all about. And to learn that the theater offers, when people can't afford to come, they're still invited to come. They get to view things. I mean, so I just think it's a given that the pockets open up a little bit better when for a cause like that. I really believe that.
And all this from a little girl from Kentucky.
There you go.
Yeah. And just out of curiosity, which part of Kentucky?
Glasgow, South Central, kind of about an hour south of Louisville, and a little bit north of Nashville. So kind of in that corner there. On a tobacco farm, actually. So,
a tobacco farm. Well, I
yep.
guess you know what loading the wagon is. I mean that.
Oh yeah, and good old Burley, and that world has changed as well about how you strip it as opposed to how we did on the farm. Milked cows up every morning at dark and still up at dark in the night doing the same job. But my oh my, I could do it tomorrow. I could go back and do it tomorrow.
Well, we know you're really busy, and we do appreciate you. This donation of this quilt called Lakeside, people can buy a ticket for $5, or they can get 5 for what, $25, or 6 for $25.
6 for 25. Yep. And I think they can even buy that online. I'm not sure, but I believe they can on the website. And honestly, it only takes one ticket to win it. And we've had in the past, we've had people who attend the retreat that win it. And we've had total strangers that just happened to be passing through and bought a ticket at the theater. So,
well, your generosity is once again very much appreciated. And we look forward to seeing that smiling face in Clifton Forge once again soon.
I can't wait to be there. I'll be there a few weeks and look forward to seeing you.
Thanks again.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.